Hello and welcome to the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz
Hey,
and
can we
Steve.
pause 1 second? My cat's about to throw up. Oh, hold up. She's lurching. Oh, no, get off the sofa.
Hello and welcome to the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett. Steve, how you doing today after the cat vomit?
Been better, man.
You stopped her though. You got her, she was lurching, you prevented it.
Yeah, she was about to throw up all over the sofa, and I was like, don't you do that. She screamed at me, and then I put her on the floor, and now we're okay.
It's always a good save though when you can actually get the cat instead of having them puke somewhere. If you can push them off the carpet or the couch and onto the wood floor, that's always good though. You know, it feels good about
it's
it.
a game changer. Yeah, it's really, it totally turns around the day if you could, cleaning cat vomit or any sort of just, liquid lurch off of fabric. It's such a nightmare.
I've noticed you could tell a lot about a person by how thoroughly they clean up their cat's vomit off the wood floor. Like, I was at a party once, and it was like a game night thing, and this guy's cat came into the middle of the room. We're all playing this game, and there's this wood floor, and the cat just comes in the middle of everyone and just throws up everywhere on the floor. And I'm immediately looking at the host thinking, let's see how you clean this up. Is this going to be a Windex? Is it going to be a spray of some kind, a Clorox? Is this just going to be a paper towel? You're going to wet the paper towel? How do you handle it? Dry paper towel, wiped it up, nothing disinfecting. Disgusting.
Dry. Oof,
Yeah, it was horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to do a spray of a Clorox or something, or a wood cleaner, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at minimum. You can't just dry it. That should be illegal.
Yeah, I like to sometimes I'll just let it dry though. I'll be like, fuck it, I'll get it in the morning. I don't know. I'm renting.
Oh yeah, but then you'll clean it, right? With the Clorox wipe. I'm just saying, you can't just clean it with a paper towel and be like, well, that's good.
No, you gotta do something else. Yeah. Do you think that do you think when you're the president, if you're Obama, do you think you have to clean up if your dog pukes or something? Because he had a dog, right?
I think he had two. Yeah, I sincerely doubt that he worried at any point was even 1% of his thought going toward cleaning up dog shit or worried at all about dogs, really. I'm sure the CIA, if anything happened to that dog, there'd be a clone, 3 seconds.
I think the dog was in the CIA. That dog could probably take a bullet for him.
You think so? The dog was bulletproof?
The dog is special Secret Service, yeah. K9
He was
unit.
on the same team that took down Bin Laden.
Yeah, that guy they had write that book and be like, I killed Bin Laden. That was actually a cover for the dog.
Yeah, it's weird that I don't know if you've listened to Obama's new podcast, but I'm not sure he brings up his dog or the CIA or the connection between the two.
Do you think when he records a podcast, he's ever interrupted by an animal vomiting in his proximity?
I think maybe 30 years ago, maybe, but certainly not in his time, as president, and definitely not after either. I'm sure it's he's just got some sort of hired help to take care of his dogs.
I'd like to imagine that Obama running his podcast is kind of like Joe Rogan's podcast. Maybe he's got his own version of Jamie. Maybe Biden's there running it, producing. Oh, hold on, Obama. I got a thing coming up. Actually, that was more Bill Clinton, I guess. You know what? That would be better. Bill Clinton is the producer of Obama's podcast. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I feel like he can't be the star of anything anymore. He's fallen out of favor. But I think that's what you have to do, right? You just move on to producing and directing.
Hey, Obama, check out this new opening riff I got. He's on the saxophone.
Obama's just like, Bill, I love it.
Obama's like, that's nice, Bill. Thank you very much. That's good. That's good. That's good. Did you book the guest?
Also, clean up that dog shit over there.
What's that girl doing under your desk?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't listened to his new podcast though. I assume it's probably just a rip off of ours.
Oh, it's almost it's weird. It's like episode for episode. It's like they listen to ours and then they record theirs. No, theirs is definitely a lot better.
It's like a shot
It's good
shot
though.
for shot remake. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's good though. It's nice to hear from someone who actually like accomplished something.
Hmm.
For 8 years of his life, indisputably, he was, president. And he actually did something, and so it's cool to hear about his perspective, as he reflects back. He did write, his own, or his first part of his memoirs, but just hearing him and Bruce Springsteen is, I don't know, it's refreshing, and it's nice to think like, okay, well, these people have done something, and now I can know a little bit about what informed their thought process or be inspired. I think it's I kind of like, harkening back to those days of when people actually did something for someone to care about them. You know what I mean?
Wait a second. Bruce Springsteen is on the podcast with him?
Yeah, it's both of them.
Why Bruce Springsteen? What are you talking
Why
about?
not? I think they're actually pretty good buddies.
What?
Yeah.
I would expect Obama to have like a really educated friend, like he maybe calls up like Noam Chomsky or something. But I don't. What you mean? He's friends with Bruce Springsteen? Is Bruce Springsteen like a great intellectual of our time that I don't know about? Like, what do you mean?
I don't think he has to be. I think he is just kind of on there to share his perspective. I mean, they're good buddies, and I think it kind of rounds out, their fan base and listening to both of these guys share their perspectives, even though they're radically different.
So it's exactly like this podcast. You've got one person who's like a career government official, and then you've got someone who doesn't know shit to like round it out. They're totally copying us.
Yeah, it's I feel like if we were maybe just a little bit more famous, ours would have been a bit more popular.
Yeah, I guess. So that makes me Bruce Springsteen, right?
You can be whoever you want to be, dude.
I am born in the
I will.
USA.
Unlike, well, anyway. Um,
Good point. Good point.
yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I guess, what's funny is, you listen to something like that and you're like, oh, wow, like this is Obama talking about like materialism and like the death of unions. You're like, okay, wow, this like informed his policy and how he grew up, informed it. And then, you just like go on YouTube and you're just like any person with a 1080 camera can go on and suddenly there are more people somehow listening to them talk about like their food experiments than like literally the president. I think that's kind of crazy that we live in this age where you don't have to do anything anymore to be famous.
I'm fine with it. I think that's okay. It's
I
good.
totally understand, that that's us. Like neither of us have done anything of note, but we're trying to do that here with our podcast. But yeah, it kind of upsets me, this idea that some idiot foodie uh, can be more popular than the former president.
Can you define foodie? Or like how would you is it like an ephemeral self-described like fleeting description or something?
I think you're giving too much credit to the definition. I would say that for me, a foodie is someone who like has some sort of personification with their experience of eating.
Okay.
Like that's a big part of who they identify as. And I think the worst version of that is someone who profits from it.
Okay. Like if it's their job?
Yeah,
Why is
like if
that
they
bad?
if they are like, all right, I have made my entire income by trying all of the tacos in LA and posting it on social media. I don't like those kind of people. I don't. That's a hot take, but I'm not going to be friends with you if that's
Why?
your career.
Why?
That's bullshit, man. That's like not an occupation.
Why
Oh,
not?
you
Food
eat food?
reviewer.
Like, no.
They're a documentarian. It's an ethnography of living in Los Angeles.
No one who's a foodie knows what ethnography means.
It's a video essay, buddy.
I understand that, but I'm not a foodie here. I'm not the one on trial. Stop turning this on me, man.
I think I might be a foodie actually. I don't make money from it, but I mean I went to a Michelin restaurant on literally Friday. and I had some very expensive sushi, so I might be a foodie. Is
Did you
this like
post it on
a
social media?
I think I took a picture of my girlfriend and I there together and put it on Snapchat or something, but other than that, I don't know, not really.
This might be the end of our podcast.
I think like I could see that if you make it your personality that you like eat food, that's kind of annoying. But like, what if you're like a chef? That's kind of like I cook it and I eat it. So that's a little different, right?
That's fine, man. You're actually producing something. The fact that, like, that's like if I started a social media account and I just went around, like, breathing air in different places.
Honestly, that's a genius idea. Do you have any idea how good that would be? You could fly to China and then you could breathe the air and be like, I'm doing this to raise awareness about the poor air quality in developing nations or something like that. People would love it.
God damn it. You're part of the problem.
I'm just saying people would like it. I'm encouraging you to do your best. If you could stop at a taco stand on the way there, more power to you.
I'm, God damn it. I'm just giving, like out of 5-star, reviews for the air. I'm just like, here in Machu Picchu, kind of thin, but pretty clear. 4 out of 5.
I think that uh, so is it being a foodie? Is that something you like put on your taxes? Is that like a term you call yourself? Is it when someone calls themselves a foodie that bothers you?
Yeah, I think if you identify as someone who eats and that's it, then yeah, I've got a problem.
Yeah, because it's something everyone has to do at some point. You have to eat, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you're like I
Okay.
don't eat and that's how I identify, I'm like, all right, well now you've got something to talk about.
Well, what about if you're like a fitness enthusiast or like a dieting specialist? Your whole idea there is kind of about food, but that's different to you.
Yeah, that's different because it's not just like, oh, this is me eating. It's like this is me trying to live to 120 by, being healthy.
Okay. Yeah, because what I did on Friday was definitely not that. I had Wendy's for lunch because the dinner was late. It was at like 8:30, and you want to
Ooh,
be hungry enough to eat it all, but you don't want to starve all day. So I had Wendy's before I had my expensive dinner because that's how it's done. Um, but I'm not. That was not healthy. Was that foodie behavior to you?
no, I mean, I think if you go to a Wendy's and then go to a Michelin restaurant, that's I don't know what that is, but I don't think that's being a foodie.
Okay. Well, I'm in the clear then.
Yeah, I think you're fine. We can continue the podcast.
Okay.
Do you think like Obama, in 10 years is gonna like what if he became a foodie?
What if he
I
became
think
a
that'd be a
foodie?
yeah, if he was like, you know what, now I'm a foodie. That's what I am now. I'm no longer a politician. I'm no longer, someone who cares about like politics or policy or social action or progress. He's like, I just love, a good jambalaya. Like that's my specialty.
I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I
He's
wouldn't have a
like, I
problem
love
with
pad thai. Like that's
it. Doesn't Jimmy Carter just like build houses and shit now? Like I could see Obama being like, I'm on the quest to find the best pad thai in the world. Anthony Bourdain's spirit speaks to me through the ether, and that is how I decide which country I will travel to for pad thai. People don't want to admit it, but there are some great places for pad thai in America. And then he's like got, I don't know, politicians in private planes eating pad thai. Is that a good idea for a show?
I might watch that.
100%. I would watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love pad thai. Uh,
So, would you do you know anyone who's a foodie?
Thankfully, no.
So, how is this? How are these people specifically coming to you? Because we've talked about it a few times. I feel like we need to really expand this fully and just kind of explore the idea of your foodie hatred in all of its glory, I suppose, and figure out what else can we say about this? Because it'd be like if every time we have an episode you're like, I have a new thing about foodies I hate, I'm gonna be like, are you like trying to like genocide them? Like, what is going on here? Like, what? You're trying to start a non-foodie like state?
I mean, not really, but like, what if I were? Would you have a problem with that?
I think that it would be difficult to implement. Like at the border, you can be like, show me your Instagram. Do you have
I think
another?
it could
Do you have another account logged in? Show me. What's that? What is that? Is that a soup? Is that ramen? Where's that from? Where'd you get that? Why'd you post that? You could post once. Is that a review? I swear to God, if you're reviewing it, like, how are you gonna? What's the border
Well,
checkpoint here?
look, I'm just saying, I don't have all the answers, but I will say that this would be a totally different way to, I think, a really positive way to reform our immigration system.
What if we did this? Okay, I think you'll like this. So we can get a data set of foodies' Instagrams. Okay, and then
Yep.
we can, analyze them using ML, AI, whatever you want to call it, and we can create a similarity score between a typical foodie and an individual's Instagram account. And if you reach a certain threshold, you're too similar to a certain foodie or another foodie, like you're out. You can't come into the state. Is that you like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Uh,
Cool.
Do you ever watch that movie? What was it? Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
No, I hate superhero movies.
All right, cool. So in the movie, basically, this evil government organization uses like I don't know metadata to target everyone who has any possibility of like some sort of like terrorist or anti-U.S. sentiment, and is like ready to kill them.
Isn't that what we do?
No, I mean within the U.S. Sorry, I should have specified.
Oh. So not yet.
Yeah,
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 sure.
yeah. Right. That's the next step.
On the way.
Yep. It's in beta testing.
Yeah.
What I'm just kind of imagining like a revisionist, Captain America, where he just like looks at it. He just like instead of stopping it, he just like targets foodies, and he's like, "All right, let it run." That'd be all right.
I think that it would be great if he could use his superpowers. I don't know shit about Captain America. If he could use his superpowers to turn people into food to solve world hunger, that would be a great solution. Like, boom, you're a corn dog. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'd watch that movie. That sounds more like a Tarantino movie than it does like a Marvel movie.
Yeah. I love Tarantino movies, like Inglourious Basterds and stuff. He's always just going back and doing that revisionist shit. Do you think that if you were like a time traveler and you like went back and you were like, I'm a foodie, do you think you could ever explain could you ever explain the concept to anyone from like more than like, like 30 years ago?
I'm trying to think. Like if I went back to, let's say, ancient Rome. And I go back and everyone's like fighting at the Colosseum, and I'm like, I've got a one-on-one with the emperor at the time, and I lean over and I'm just like, yo, check it out, I'm a foodie.
Yeah. I
I
don't
think
think that
they'd
would
throw
work.
me into the tiger pit.
If you're looking at this, it looks like it really took off around like the 90s is when we started saying foodie. So yeah, back then, I don't even think we can go back that far. Like, yeah, we can only start. Oh no, we can go to 1500. So, there was a spike in foodie discussions in the 1620s. I think I remember that. Like, what?
Okay.
What?
Yeah, that was definitely in our AP history.
Yeah, let's do a
Test.
smoothing factor of 50 years. There we go.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think if you went back in time and you explained to someone like, so what I do is I eat food for a living and I show other people what I'm eating. They'll be like, I haven't eaten in a week because I'm a peasant and agriculture is like very new here. My brother died of cholera. So this taco place in LA though, the Carnitas.
And they're like, what the fuck is LA? Can someone kill this guy?
What's LA? Is that after BC? Where's he? I don't get it. Or
Yeah.
AD. LA AD.
Yeah, I feel like if time travel were real, that could totally be something that happened, like a foodie going back in time to try to garner more social media presence. And then
Start your
that, like,
account earlier, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get in on the ground floor, and that started like a bunch of revolutions of people being very hungry.
I feel like if time traveling ever becomes a thing, it's gonna be the worst like social media clout thing ever. Like some idiot you know from high school is gonna like post a picture of them like in California during the gold rush, like in a mine, like next to like someone sifting for gold nuggets, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, this past weekend I went to the I went to the California gold rush, motherfucker." Oh, you went to the club? I went back in time.
Time tourism. Yeah, I could totally see that. I think it'd be a lot of fun outside of all of the problems with it. But
Yeah,
here's
we could
my
do it with
theory on
VR.
time travel. Oh, sure. Here's my theory on actual time travel. So you know the theory that uh, we would have invented some sort of invisibility cloak before inventing time travel.
No, I've not heard that, but
Okay, well
okay.
that's one theory for like why we'd never see anyone from the future.
Okay.
I think another theory, which is much more plausible, is like this is all in the consideration that time travel is possible, uh, and you can go backwards in time. My theory is that I think humanity blows itself up way before we ever figure out how to travel in time. That's why
Yeah.
we don't see anyone from the future because we never got to that stage where we could travel to the past.
Well, I kind of talked about this, I think, a while ago. Like, maybe we didn't post this episode, but I was talking about how it's really disturbing how so much of our nuclear weapons are not launched because somehow, like, Soviet era technology is, like, still working. Like the tower where like I think it's like a tower in like Moscow has to like talk to like Leningrad, Stalingrad, whatever the fuck they call it now, Pretoria, I don't know.
Sure.
And they like it has to communicate, and if it doesn't, bombs are launched. They're just in the air. But I think that it's working. I guess hasn't that almost happened a few times? I think.
Yeah, I think it's called. I want to say it's called a broken arrow when they basically either like a bomb dropped or something happened or they lost track of it. I think off the coast of like North Carolina or Georgia, there's like an actual bomb
Oh,
that just didn't go off, but like the plane came apart
oh
in a
wow.
test run and it's just kind of sitting there.
Do you think we could put a nuke through a time machine and just nuke the past? I think
Do you
that's
mean like
proof
some
that we
sort of
don't.
time war?
Yeah, time war. Fuck it. We're fighting the yeah, time war where they're like yeah, around the year 20 85 was when war became very complicated. This is when there was a split in the timeline and the Romans actually were fighting the Mecha overlord Chinese government. They sent a nuke back and we lost olive oil. No one knows why.
But that's it. Also, China doesn't exist.
Yeah, the Mandarin's weird now.
it's it's just Southern U.S. dialogue. Um,
I've been
yeah,
learning.
that
Sorry,
I'd
go ahead.
watch that movie. I'd watch that movie, Time Wars. That
I
sounds
would
super
too.
cool, actually.
Sounds fucking hilarious. I would watch it. I've been actually learning Chinese, but it's really
Have you?
hard. Yeah, it's really hard though. It's all pronunciation. The grammar is not that bad, but it's all pronunciation, and it actually got me thinking. So you know how like even in I don't know if you know this, but like even in China, there's different dialects. There's Mandarin, Cantonese, Fujonese. Like there's just all these different like dialects that kind of come off of the same language and stuff, and a lot of it is like tonality and pronunciation based. I wonder if at any point we're going to get like American Chinese or like American Mandarin, where it's like based off of like people like me who couldn't initially pronounce the words correctly. So, like, I guess it's kind of like an interesting discussion, but like instead of being like, like, yi san chi, like it'd be like yi san chi, like, just to,
Like
like
a little
count.
twang.
Yeah, a little twang, a little southern twang. Got that and do you?
I hope so, man. I hope that we end up like with something like that with when China eventually just takes over us. That they are merciful on the southern part of the country.
I hope so. They're gonna need it. But I was thinking the other day like about like American Chinese food, and like it's great. You and I love it. Of course we eat
Oh, it's
it
the best. It's
whenever.
better than pretty much everything we've come up with.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. And I remember I was listening to like so I like to like watch people speaking Chinese with like subtitles in like Chinese and English, so I can try to like kind of get like more words and stuff. And I was listening to
Makes
this
sense.
one where someone was like, "Shi Chen good day, General Tso's chicken," and I was like, "Okay, so it's not authentic at all. If they're just like
No,
they're
no,
just
it's definitely not, dude.
I remember in like grad school, like hearing my friends like speak Chinese, and then like in the middle of like saying something, they would be like linear regression, and I'm like, okay, I know where they're at now. Like, it's like I'm not learning that one. Fuck it.
Yeah. I that happens all the time in like Portuguese.
Yeah.
You'll yeah, like someone will be speaking fluent Portuguese and then they'll, like stop and just be like Verizon Wireless.
That's funny. I've been like kind of trying to learn Chinese because I've wanted to learn it for like 12 years, and I just never sat down or put any of the time into it until recently. So I've been trying to learn it, and part of it is because I definitely think that that's going to have like a lot of advantages in the future, like business wise and stuff. I think that we're going to be doing more and more business with China, but then also I can learn like a programming language in like a week or two now. So I was thinking like if I can learn like a really hard language and then I can like spend all the time doing that, then maybe like at some point like 10 years down the line I'll be able to learn like any language in a week or two or something.
Do you think so?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe like functionally, probably not like fluent, but I should probably be able to like I don't know. If I can like keep maybe not. Maybe this is a stupid idea. The more I'm talking about it out loud, I'm like, maybe this doesn't make sense. I don't know. But yeah,
Nah,
I'm
dude,
trying
follow
to
your
learn
dreams.
Mandarin. I'm trying to learn
Yeah.
Mandarin. I at
It
least want to
reminds
be
me
able to go
of
to Chinatown and order food and freak them out.
yeah, they're just like, "Oh, the General Tso's."
Yeah.
Um
Have you ever
it
seen?
reminds me of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Uh do you remember when Charlie like thought he learned Mandarin because he was taking, placebo pills?
Yes.
It
That's a
reminds me
great
a lot of
episode.
that. She's like Mushula, and the guy just like, you know Mandarin?
That guy's a good actor. Is that the same
Oh,
guy
he's so
from
funny.
is that Jimmy O Yang, or am I just like am I gonna have to edit this out?
I'm not sure.
Let me see, cause he is really funny. Um,
He was in Silicon Valley. Yeah, it's him.
okay,
That was him. Yeah.
okay, great. So, okay, great. So we're not editing this out because I was correct that it was him, and I apologize for that notification. I did not turn off all of my sounds here. My bad. For anyone listening, but yeah, so I was correct. It was him, and he's very fucking funny.
Yeah. Flowers for Charlie. That
It's a
was it.
great episode.
Oh my
So,
god.
so do you think that the time travel war is kind of like a Flowers for Charlie level idea?
What do you mean?
It's like, so we're going to go to war through time travel. Like, oh yeah, definitely. Please tell us more. It's like, no, we're not.
Yeah, I wanna see that pitch meeting. I've been thinking a bit about this. How um, you get an actor like Bruce Willis, or for a while it was Steven Seagal, where I think they just kind of they get bored and then they're like, I could make like two, three, $400,000 in like a month of shooting. All right, sign me up for whatever bullshit script has come down the pipe, Netflix. And
Oh
that's how we
yeah.
get a lot of those like number one movies, like they're number one in popularity for like a week before people realize they're terrible. And I'm just like, if that's possible, I feel like anyone could write something. Like, how many times have you seen the same movie over and over and over again?
I
It
mean,
kind of
every
inspires me
time.
yeah, it kind of inspires me to to write some shit movie just for the quick Netflix pickup.
I mean, it seems like there's so many movies that are just so bad. Everything's so formulaic. It's almost like, to me, there's just some shitty regression model that they use where they're like, yeah, so the coefficient on Adam Sandler is higher than Morgan Freeman. We're gonna go with Adam Sandler for this one. Like, it must be just some like really bad model. I don't know. You know they have to be
It's
doing that. I mean, you and I know
yeah.
someone that scrotum guy. He he does that. That's what they do at his job is they like
Oh,
calculate
really?
how much money is this movie gonna make. Yeah.
Huh. I mean, that's smart, right? To bring in the stats.
Yeah, it's smart, but that's probably why every movie fucking blows.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it really stifles innovation. It's just like, no, you need people to feel good, and you need people to feel like whatever money they spent on the subscription was worth it to watch the next movie.
It's gonna be. I don't think people are gonna go back to movie theaters either. I kind of like them. I might go. I don't know, but watching everything as it comes out at home has also been pretty nice.
It's been fantastic, man. I mean, there hasn't been I guess, all that much that has come out compared to, the before times, but it's been
Hmm.
really nice to just be like, oh, what like six streaming services with an endless amount of movies and TV shows each do I want to check out today? Oh, how about Hulu?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's really wonderful. I don't know if I want to go back to the movie theater, with like people coughing on the back of my head and eating popcorn really loudly. And
No.
there's always one like kid, screaming because she's like 6 months old. And I'm like, why did you bring a 6 month old to a 3 hour movie?
Yeah, I'm like, why is your 6 month old here at this movie? People are gonna get eviscerated on screen. It's a violent movie. I only go to violent films, lady. It's I don't know.
The
Uh,
mom's like, I really wanted to watch it. Shut the fuck up.
um, do you think that there's ever gonna be a point where someone becomes a movie foodie and they go around to different theaters reviewing the popcorn?
You know what? I'd actually, I'd listen to that.
See, there you go. It's not that bad. See, you didn't like the air quality one or the taco one, but I start bringing up the movie one. You're like, you know what? Okay, I can see why there's an audience for this.
Even if it's just me, I think that's really fucking funny.
It is pretty funny. And if you think that these ideas are funny, you can watch our sister podcast, the Obama podcast. Uh, and that's all for us tonight. Good night.